In Family Guy's season finale, we get 3 historical stories. They're based on the French Revolution, the American Civil War, and World War II.
Make peace with Japan!
Right, and nuke Hiroshima.
No, 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 no!
So will season 24 end on a high note? Let's find out. The episode opens with Stewie calling tech support about his broken time machine.
No, I did not make love to a bear on it. Shh.
But wait, didn't Stewie invent this thing himself? Why would he need tech support? I know I'm way overthinking it, but it still has to make some level of sense. Anyway, Brian walks in and tells us, the audience, that you don't need a time machine when you've got a history book. And that takes us into the first segment, which is the French Revolution. By the way, is it insane to anyone else that this is the 4th anthology episode in a season with only 15 episodes? That's almost a third being taken up by the most unpopular format. First there was the episode Viewer Mail, which was a mixed bag to say the least. Like, the Lord of the Rings parody was great, but the Dean Martin segment was just dreadful. Then we had Playtime, which spoofed 3 iconic stage shows, and that one was just simply terrible. And after that, we had A Few More Ways to Die in the West, which was actually pretty fun overall. And that's not even counting the non-canon Christmas special, but hey, maybe this one will be the best one. Hopefully. So Chris is playing King Louis XVI and Meg is Marie Antoinette, and they are throwing lavish Moulin Rouge parties.
Many of which devolved into orgies, covering the walls with yicky yicky ya ya ja ja.
Well, it turns out the licensing to all those Baz Luhrmann songs is bankrupting the country, so it's a choice between taxing the people or giving up his BoobTube premium account.
And you can just watch regular VooTube with the ads.
Let's do the taxes.
This led to a funny joke where Joe explains the new head and salt tax to the common folk.
A head tax? But that could be thousands.
Meanwhile, Stewie and Brian take on the roles of Robespierre and Danton, and after seeing the growing unrest in France, they begin planning a revolution. They quickly get everyone on board with overthrowing the monarchy, especially Quagmire.
I can't wait for the new symbol of France to be a woman with her boob hanging out.
There's actually a clever joke here where Chris says he's been Jacobinning 5 times a day.
I mean, at least 4 or 5 times a day, you'll find me Jacobin.
And the Jacobins were a radical political club during the French Revolution, so that did make me chuckle. When the Queen hears about the bread shortage, she asks her Swedish baker what to do.
Let them eat cock!
I always love when this guy randomly pops up. His first appearance was way back in season 7.
Would you like a hot piece of pee? It's on the hoose!
What?
Oh no! You're covered in my hot pee!
And speaking of callbacks, this guy suddenly appears too.
She's not French, she's from Austria.
Austria's our rival.
He showed up way back in season 5.
Who can tell me what Matthew just did wrong? I mean, besides not running over that Yahoo from Jefferson High.
They're our rivals.
But my favourite joke in the segment had to be when Quagmire says that people hate all the French nobles except for that one super cool pointing guy. This is actually a reference to painter Joseph Ducrot, and honestly, his self-portraits are very incredible.
So rad.
So, with the monarchy overthrown, the king is about to be beheaded.
Please destroy the oil paintings under my mattress.
And just as the blade comes down on the queen, it's stopped by one of those novelty fake necks.
Novelty fake neck was provided by Jacques' Joke Shop of South Attleboro, France.
This was such a great callback to the old Jack's Joke Shop gag from season 3.
Some of my novelty items were provided by Jack's Joke Shop of South Attleboro, Massachusetts. Remember, if it ain't funny, it ain't worth Jack.
Man, I'm loving these classic references. They work so much better when the show uses them sparingly.
Remember, if it ain't it ain't worth Jacques.
After the Queen is executed, Joe's next in line, followed by Lois, and then J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, 'cause you know why.
And true to actual history, Stewie is eventually beheaded too, quickly followed by Brian. So the next segment jumps ahead to 1861 with Abraham Lincoln's inauguration.
And right away, I want to apologize for my mentally ill wife.
What the hell?
Next we see Chris and Stewie playing the Booth brothers, while Seamus loses his limbs during the Battle of Bull Run.
And there's no way there'll be a whole second battle there. You're not gonna freaking believe it.
Cutting back to the president, and they keep repeating a joke about Lincoln being gay.
I'm late for my cuddle nap with Joshua Speed, who everyone should go ahead and Google.
And yes, I did Google this guy, and apparently Lincoln did sleep in the same bed as this man for 4 years. So make of that what you will. Funnily enough, Principal Shepard plays Joshua Speed, and this isn't the first time the show's made gay jokes about him. Like back in season 19 when Peter was willing to sleep with him just to get Meg into college.
He didn't mean you have to sleep with him.
There are a few options.
And later in that same episode, the two get very close during a boat ride.
I know I said I wouldn't get clingy, but when can I see you again?
We all know Peter's bi, so maybe the writers are hinting at something here. Anyway, it's time for the Gettysburg Address, and John Wilkes Booth is preparing to perform, only to get bumped from the stage because Lincoln wanted to speak instead.
I respect actors. How about you give me a headshot?
My favourite joke of the segment was definitely Lincoln asking Grant about General Lee.
General Lee. Right, but I need you to know him specifically. I do know him specifically, General Lee.
I laughed so hard at this scene. I just love these Abbott and Costello style misunderstanding jokes. So, as Lincoln watches the play, John Wilkes sneaks in and blasts Lincoln in the back of his head.
Lincoln's assassination was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
And filmed in front of a live audience is pretty funny, considering this actually did happen in front of a live audience. Now, on to the third segment about World War II, with Peter as Churchill and Joe as Franklin D. Roosevelt, which is very fitting seeing as the president did actually use a wheelchair. We then get another gay joke, this time about Eleanor Roosevelt being a lesbian. And yes, I googled that too, and there may be some truth there. I also loved the callback to the pointing painter joke.
Oh no, not Paris. Please tell me the pointing guy is okay.
Peter and Brian then do another misunderstanding bit, but this time with Stalin.
And I'll stop stalling. Great, I'm glad you're not delaying your departure, but do you have a plan for when you get there?
So, as Churchill and Roosevelt discuss war plans, we then get this great reference to the movie Downfall with Stewie being Hitler. Although, I should point out that Cleveland parodied this scene first. Have they really gotten to the point where they're recycling gags from that show? So the Allies defeat the Germans, and Roosevelt is on his deathbed talking to his successor Harry Truman about dropping a bomb on Japan.
It's time to go make peace with Japan.
Got it. Go to Japan and nuke Hiroshima.
In honesty, I thought this was perhaps the weakest segment of the episode. Not bad by any means, but I just didn't find it nearly as funny as the French Revolution or the Civil War stories. Overall, I thought this episode was pretty good. It wasn't side-splitting hilarious all the way throughout, but there were enough genuinely funny moments here to keep me entertained. And for an anthology episode, that's pretty impressive because they're usually a miss for me. So therefore, I'll give this one a 4 out of 5. So these are my rankings for season 24, and as you can see, it's a pretty mixed bag. Not terrible, but not exactly amazing either. But if you'd be interested in seeing a full season 24 breakdown, then let me know in the comments below. And do let me know what you think of this episode and the season as a whole. Maybe you liked the World War II segment the best, I don't know, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.